I believe 1991 as a Christian nonprofit foundation. We are a 501c3 organization, and we exist to serve children and their families. Our main purpose here is to expose children to horses and farm animals and things that can happen on a farm. Our main programs are therapeutic riding lessons and traditional riding lessons. We also do special activities throughout the year. For instance, Reach and Teach is here with us today, and they have been coming up for 3 years to the Rustler Ranch. They do part of their day camp here. What our main purpose is, or my main purpose, is to provide the children with the opportunity to be with the horses, to ride them, to lead them, to learn how to groom them and take care of them in some way.
What other groups do you have here besides this Reach and Teach program?
We have a therapeutic riding program that we do 4 6-week sessions per year with, and those children come out to the ranch and basically are kids with special needs who receive riding lessons. So I am an occupational therapist by trade, and so I can use my occupational therapy certification in addition to my certified horsemanship instructor to teach the kids and to really meet them where they are physically, mentally, or emotionally, and teach them how to actually independently control a horse, which is a huge feat. I would say the main thing that the kids gain is confidence and a sense of independence. When you can get on a 1,000+ pound animal and be able to control that animal independently or somewhat independently, that's a great feeling of confidence instilled in those kids. We do teach them how to ride, but some of our children have physical issues, so we work on those physical things. In my lessons, I really am able to individualize what the kids need and match them to a horse that's going to help them gain those abilities, whether it be physically. We have some kids who need to be on a really calm, smooth horse in order to gain postural balance or to work on leg strength or fine motor coordination. We have some kids who we're really working on social things with, so we work on those. We play a lot of games during our lessons. So we can really tweak our lessons where we're teaching riding into meeting other goals that the kids usually don't even realize we're working on.
You're fooling them.
In a way, but for the greater good. So we do an intake assessment with each student and their family or caregiver before they start lessons, and then I can establish some goals with the family on what they would like to see us working on. So do I see a difference in my students from the first day that they come versus the end of their riding lessons or the end of each session? Definitely. Pretty much we always see a difference in some way, shape, or form. Sometimes it will be just an increased level of confidence. They come in and they are interacting with the horses, or they're interacting with the staff and volunteers here. A lot of our students, we see some physical changes where they're able to sit up straighter and with better balance on the horse throughout the lesson or for longer periods of time throughout their lessons. Some of the kids, we see really great differences. As far as physically, they're able to mount and dismount independently. They're able to not only maintain their balance and their position on the horse as they're riding, but also to steer. That is basically a really high-level motor skill riding.
You're talking about one girl that in particular that
yes.
you give extra lessons to then?
So we had 2 students actually last year who started, and both had pretty significant physical issues, and through each of their first session of riding lessons through the therapeutic riding program, there was a request from physicians, therapists, and their case managers that we would continue on lessons. So we held an extra special session at the end of our year to accommodate that because they were seeing so many physical gains. One of the little girls had not been sitting up on her own, and at the end of our first 6-week session together, she was sitting up on her own without support, which is a huge improvement. So now, even to this day, when she gets on the horse, she sits up with perfect posture. She is actually improved from last year at this time, where she was not ambulating at all, unable to walk even with a lot of assistance, to now she is walking with a specific walker made for her, and she's able to walk up to 100 feet with her walker. So that's huge for us.
Yes.
And really, the horse provides so much input to these children, really to any of us who ride, because you get the heat from the horse, you get that different environment. It's not just your traditional kind of therapy. You get to interact with an animal that you're in charge of, which is very empowering.
This is Baby Cakes. She's a pony that we have for our petting zoo.
So people don't ride her, right?
No, not right now. No. She's just for petting, and today we're going to use her for letting the kids lead her around a little bit, since she's a nice, small, manageable size for them to be able to lead. So
is this, I don't know, is this a miniature horse? Is this a
yes,
horse
she's a miniature horse. Yep.
Okay.
So she's full grown. She's actually 23, so she's an older pony.
23 years
yes.
old?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. You don't look your age.
No, she doesn't. She's quite well preserved.
So she used for petting, and the kids lead her around?
Well, they will be today, yep. But we use her for petting and stuff like that. We just got her not too long ago, so she's a fairly new addition here.
What is the kids leading the animals around? What does that do for them?
Well, I mean, it's just allowing them to kind of have a chance to interact with them. And in her case, you know, she's small enough that they're not going to be intimidated by her like they might be by a bigger horse.
Okay.
You know, so they can get a chance just to lead her around and just handle her a little bit.
Could this be a precursor to riding a horse? You get to know the smaller horse?
Well, all these kids here have already ridden before when they've come. Mm-hmm. So they're all pretty good with the riding part, but this is just something different for them to do today.
What's the best part about riding the horses?
The games.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of games?
All of them. Even one where you have to shoot that ball into the shapes.
Oh, okay.
And a dart ball one where there's a ball and it's sticky and you just have to throw it. And also, just a ball, hooping that.
You got a favorite horse?
Yeah, rope. Danny boy.
With therapeutic horse riding, it calms the children with autism. It makes them become more focused, and it makes them concentrate on their whole being from head to toe, the whole body, where sometimes they can lose control and not have their senses about them. Mm-hmm. So when they get on a horse, they get the feel of the horse, and it kind of gathers all their sensations into their body, and it makes them want to participate and do actions, and even like the empathy and the sympathy for the horses themselves, you know, to groom them, to make them look pretty. You don't usually see that with children with autism.
So some of the kids have kind of surprised you?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Actually, this year, he's not in this group right now, but we have one young man that we have been coming to Rustler Ranch for 3 years now, and this year is the first time he actually got on a horse and rode it. The previous years, he would come into the arena, he would sit and watch. Then maybe the next year, he would go up and he would touch the horse, he would groom the horse. And then maybe he would stand up on the ramp up there with the rest of the kids and just watch, but he would never get on it. This year is the first year he actually sat on the horse, and then the next session, he rode it last session.
So does it look like he was thinking about it, that this year when he started?
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
What else do you do here?
We have like 3 or 4 activities while we're here. We're usually here for about 3 hours. They open up their whole grounds to us, so we have certain games and activities, treasure hunts, scavenger hunts. We do an art project together with the kids in small groups. They rotate around, and they have their lunch here. We pack our lunches, and we come and sit out at the picnic tables. So it's kind of like an outdoorsy, kind of summer camp, kind of fun thing to do. And then, of course, we have the riding and the grooming here in the arena.
Now they have miniature horses here, so they have petting zoo too.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. There's a couple of goats, some pigs, some cows, and the miniature pony just came today. This is his first appearance with us, yes.
And so the kids interact with those animals too in similar fashion?
Absolutely. If they're not ready to touch the animals, we don't push it on them because they don't know what to expect from an animal. With humans, they can, with adults and other children, they can kind of expect there's going to be some kind of interaction, but with an animal, they're not quite sure. So they may take their time to touch or pet, but we always have to be role modeling how to do it in case they would become scared or afraid of what the animal may do.
What do you do with this autism camp when you're not here?
When we're not here. This Reach and Teach has been around for 23 years. We are currently at the YMCA. They opened their doors for us last summer, so this is our second year there. While we're at the Y, we do different activities. We have cooking and arts and crafts. Look at those handsome faces. And then they also swim while we're at the Y. And then we have another room where they go in, there's a sensory room. So we have our swings and our ball pits and trampolines and all kinds of arts and crafts to do. They cook their own snack. So that's 2 days a week while we're there. And then one day a week we come out here to the Rustler Ranch. And then on Thursdays we go out into the community somewhere, whether it be a local park, because a lot of our kids have trouble just going to the park down the street and swinging. So we all go as a group there, or we've been going out to the outdoor Y in Perry, Ohio, where there's swimming and swinging and basketball and all those kind of things out there too.
Tell me what you like about this place.
I like the summer camp and it's pretty so cool and awesome. And I can swim on the deep end and I can put the splash it.
Oh.
And I can on the deep end. And
What about the horse? Do you ride the horses?
oh yeah,
So tell us the name of your favorite horse.
Joy Joy.